the Temple of Apollo. It's just like two huge pieces of stone. Must have been something else to try to transport. See the original footprint of it all the way around. Like so much stuff.
Great location too.
Sacked and destroyed, which is sucks. Heading up to the castle. This must have been the old road up to it. I'm not sure. It's going uphill. No English subtitles. Surprise, surprise, Catholic Church. I see you hiding from me.
Who?
This is a church. Look at that marble there. So this is what's left of the Venetian fort. They call it the castle, and it's protected the town in the early days. Barrows across the channel. Town of Naxos.
All right.
You want to steer up?
No.
All right.
Line's clear.
Are we on top of another chain? Wind finally came around for us. It's a little bit upwind, but that's perfectly fine. We're running to the first reef. We could do fine with all of it out, but we're being lazy today. We're getting 6.5 knots. That's good. There's beautiful Wendy, Skipper Wendy. Go see if we can get some dolphins. Let's conjure up some dolphins. here, we can get one, but I'm gonna see if I can find something a little, like between these two here would be the best. 2.8 under our keel. He wants us down there, but I don't like that spot. Can I go over there? Fast ferry, so we're going to watch what happens with the wake. These guys are absolutely unbelievable. And this is what the Anchorage looks like. We were thinking about anchoring out. There's a whole bunch of submarine cables that run through here, so you have to be careful about where you anchor. But man, does it look beautiful. You really don't want to complain too much because these are the people that make everything possible. Just like in the ski, in the ski industry, it's the tourists and the people that come to the ski area that really make lift ticket prices affordable and everything. But these huge ferries are kind of the bane of our existence. They come in and they spin around to dock, and when they do, they just create a huge swell. And of course, we got the trash truck right across the way here, and it's not exactly the best smell coming onto the boat. But yeah, everything has to be transferred between the islands on the ferries, and the ferry traffic in the Aegean is something to behold. I mean, these are huge ferries, and no small little flying dolphins here. These are big ships, and we do our best to try to keep ourselves tied up properly. And you just have to really know what you're doing when it comes to dock lines. We've failed enough times that we've gotten good at it now, but we're pinned in between two other boats, which is nice. I always like that.
We're reading on the web about a new discovery that they found in Greece of a ancient pyramid, and lo and behold, here we are sailing right by it. It's that pyramid out there off the end of I think it's Caso Island. Anyway, we're on Kufanisi. We're only about 2.5 miles away from it.
Indeed, we both saw different articles, and one I'd seen was, I suspect looking at it that it started off being a hill, and they just clad it in marble. I say just clad it, huge blocks of marble, and they did it kind of somewhat like a Mayan temple with it's tiered supposedly, and I suspect, although it doesn't mention in the article, that they buried it eventually so that it wouldn't be sacked and torn apart like everything else. And so for centuries nobody even knew it existed. This has been a recent discovery, so very cool. I don't think we're going to be able to stop by though. So we come across this is a sea mine, and here it looks like people shot it with rifles trying to explode it and then they decided it was inert, so they just put it on display. in here, some sort of a bomb. Also recovered World War II era. It's a little beach, a little less crowded in the morning than it was yesterday afternoon. A million people on it. But yesterday was Sunday and everybody went back on the ferry. And yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. When it's dead calm, this is just glass smooth and so clear. The water was fantastic.
Yes, it was. This is Kufanisi. We are here just for a night in the harbor and walking around, checking out some restaurants and this cute little windmill up here. So we thought we'd come up and have a drink before we go to dinner.
Okay, so we looked up the pyramid thing because we were having a disagreement, and I was under the impression from the article I had read that they'd kind of clad an existing hill with terraced marble,
And I think it's a little more than just cladding a hill. I think they cut it all out and then took an existing hill, but added substantially. It says like 10,000 tons of Naxian marble pulled over. It's something like 3,500 boatloads that had to be rowed over 5 hours from Naxos. That's a lot of work to make a little pyramid. So it's a pretty impressive thing, and it was built during the same time as Stonehenge apparently. So that's a pretty marvelous achievement.
Yeah, the article said they had drainage and that it was terraced, almost like probably similar to a Mayan temple.
Yeah,
so stepped up to the top, and then later on, they're talking about excavating it. We're of the opinion that they probably buried it to protect it, because we can't see how you could actually get dirt and dust to bury all this stuff to a point that nobody knew about it for centuries. So it's been, they're excavating it now. So anyway, pretty cool stuff. Okay, we're good. All right. What it's about, for real. This is like the cool part of the whole gig is getting to sail. Good clean wind and relatively flat seas. And it might get a little choppier later today as this wind catches the sea and the fetch. We got a lot of fetch going.
La Vida at a farmhouse.
A working farm.
A working farm. We had to walk in. Should have filmed walking in.
Yeah,
Kevin in his flip-flops, tearing his feet apart.
I thought that the taverna was at the top of the, the boat ramp, but no, it's like a mile inland. It's a working farm on top of the hill, and beautiful, charming little
It's a really cool place.
It's way off the beaten path, though. Leaving the farmhouse. I'm gonna come back for dinner a little later on.
We have our fig
Really
jam.
Shows poorly with our footwear. This place.
This walkway.
I know it's craziness. I'm gonna make sure we wear something more sensible on the way up. I cannot believe that people live on this island. This is the only farmhouse on the entire island. There's the Anchorage.
Is that cool though?
It's very cool. Well, first time we've really seen cloudy skies since we've been on the water this year. It was dingy, and there we are, tied up in one of the mooring balls. This is the most bizarre place ever. There's the taverna way up there. It's actually a working farm, and it is quite the hike.
It's the only game on this entire island. So you come in, you anchor off, they've got mooring balls, and then they've got this partially finished path.
Yeah, the path
Takes you
ends,
about-
but it gives you a rough idea of where you're starting, and then that changes to blazes and Kevin the trails in Colorado to tell you where to go. This is the spot that's not on the cruising itineraries for the charter companies. So you come here and you're just with other cruisers. That's all there is. There's no dream yacht charters or moorings or any of that sort of thing here, and that gives it a different feel. It is rugged and off the grid. No cell service, no internet, none of that. And these people who live here and who obviously kind of chiseled this farm out of the rocky soil are to be congratulated, because it must have been a tough job. So you have to imagine the whole family out there pulling these field stones out of the field in order to make this an arable space. And then after all that, it becomes almost impossible to farm. Meltemi fills in and blows all the soil away. So you wonder what they do. I mean, basically the business appears to be the taverna and also goats and figs. They have quite the fig orchard here. And
Feta cheese from the goats.
Feta cheese. It's actually not an actual feta here. It's a kind of a soft cheese, but it's more.
Yeah, they've made this soft goat cheese we had the other day, and it was amazing. So we'll see if they have it here.
Yeah, arguably better than feta. It's got a little bit less sharp of a taste. Wendy's wondering about these little trees. They almost appear dead, but
I think they're seed pods
they're seed pods,
off of a plant.
and the trees surround the entire perimeter of the fields. We don't really know what they are. We don't think they actually are dead. They're probably, in Greece they get rain in the wintertime. During the summer it's all dry, so but we're not sure about this area because we're really far in the Cyclades, almost to Turkey at this point. We bought the fig jam that we were recommended to buy earlier.
Can't wait to try it.
And didn't pay. We went to pay and they said, oh no, if you're coming back for dinner, we'll do it all at once. So off we went with our beers and fig jam on our word that we'd be back, which I love.
That's so cool.
I love when people trust you to do the right thing, and of course we always would. So we're talking to the Finns at the next table and the French to get an idea of what to do in Kos. Their boat is based in Kos, and that's where we're going to be for a while. So we're going to have to we're gonna have to live there probably for a week. We have some stuff to get in from
I
Oyster.
don't know, a week, yeah.
However many days, and he just gave us the lead on the mechanic. So I do want to have a pro mechanic do a change on our coolant because I don't exactly know how to do it, and I really don't feel like dealing with it. I mean, that's really kind of what it comes down to, and cleaning the bilge. That's been on my list.
In Costa or in Turkey?
Well, we might do it in Turkey. I don't know. We'll have to see how cheap it is or how reasonable.
We just need to get some stuff shipped to the boat. So.
Yeah, we do need to do that. A new kitchen faucet. They call it a tap. In the Brits call it a tap. But all of our faucets are leaking, and we need to get that fixed. They're not. The parts aren't available. Cartridges aren't available for the old faucets that are in our boat, and before we cross the Atlantic we have to be really miserly on the water, so all that has to be fixed so we're not draining away water unnecessarily. So the choices for dinner tonight were meatballs and fish. So we got the fish, and here's the two fish, and we saw the guy bringing it up from the boat earlier today. We were thinking a minute or two ago that, well, first of all, we were told that the taverna here, the food was limited and so. We were actually told it was so, but in reality it's just limited, and it is more authentic, we think, than what you get elsewhere, because for 1,000 years this is how it's been. That you came to a place like this and you got whatever they caught from the sea that day. You got some fig jam that they made from the fig orchards. You got you got whatever they had, and it might be just something small, and that's what you got. You've got tzatziki, fish, and meatballs, and fried potatoes. That's pretty much what they have. And if you don't like that, you can go back to your boat and get something else. And it's perfect. We love it.
Love it.
I can tell right now, it's fish. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Reset, go.
Ground thruster's not on. I don't think we need it.
No.
Off the Turkish coast, but still a Greek island. It's one of the last places we can clear out. It's a beautiful sailing day. We're seeing, 20 knots of wind steady. And Talisman's loving life. She could use a little bit more. She's a hungry boat when it comes to wind. She likes lots of wind. Lots of wind and big seas. That's kind of the thing for her. Just gorgeous sailing. Seeing about 7 knots, 6.5 to 7 knots pretty consistently. No worries.
rocks ahead?
Or we'll all be dead.
What was that?
No more rhyming, and I mean it.
Anybody want a peanut?
Arr! Right out there. And there's our dinghy tied up to the dock, and the restaurant has built the dock, and it's free parking if you go to the restaurant. So, I mean, it just makes it easy. This looks like the best one here, honestly. So we're in good shape. This is the little Anchorage at Kefanos on the backside of Kos, and we're basically cleared out of Greece. We've already given our transit log back, so we're kind of trying to keep a low profile. We can't go to any marinas where they ask us for paperwork for transit log and registration, all that sort of stuff, because we don't have a transit log. But what we can do is anchor out, and we've found this beautiful anchorage in Kefanos here. It's windy here, and somewhat exposed, totally exposed to southerlies, but prevailing northwest or north winds from the Meltemi. It's pretty good. It's very windy, but the holding's good. It's sand bottom. We're in about 5 meters of water, and we have, I don't know, 35 or 40 meters of chain out just to be sure. And yeah, it's great. Great windsurfing spot. Yesterday the guys were out just ripping it, and reminded me of my younger days doing a lot of sailboarding. But I had dinner last night in the restaurant. They've got little jetties built over there, little docks that are out in front of the restaurant.